Well, I did it. I know that I asked some of you for help and some advice on the problem that I was having with this Gigabyte build. The issue was that I could not get all three banks of RAM. I could try to show them to you here. As you see, I have HyperX RAM in one of the channels, and I have some G-Skill Ripjaws RAM in the center channel, and HyperX again in the third channel. Now this is tri-channel memory that we're dealing with here. I could not, for some reason, get it to take all three channels. I could not get it to take the center channel. So just on a whim, I thought I would try using a different brand of memory, RAM. I popped in 2 sticks of Ripjaws G-Skill RAM, and lo and behold, pardon me, I did it. 32 gigabytes of RAM on this old X58 platform. Now, although that can be done, I did notice that there are some problems with latency, and I will be altering this. It also seemed to me that in the BIOS, it was sort of like bleeding over into the RAM that was on the MSI 1050 Ti graphics card, because RAM was registering in the BIOS as 34 gigabytes of RAM, or 35 points something or other. It was, you know, considerably more than 32, and I'm thinking that it was reading also the memory from it was forcing it to read the memory from the graphics card. It's kind of like it's pushing over into, you know, somehow the software there is, or the firmware is not reading correctly in the BIOS. So, and you would think that it would be fast, but it's actually quite sluggish. The mouse, the cursor runs real slower now, and overall responsiveness is, you know, you got to feel for these things. You don't even have to check you know, you don't have to run any software to check. You can, over time, when you build computers, you get a feel for things. But I noticed programs are not opening as snappy as they did when it was 16 gigabytes of RAM. And, you know, it could be that the latencies on the two types of RAM are not the same, and that's creating a problem. But even with 16 gigabytes with both brands of RAM, it's a lot more responsive and a lot more snappier. So she has 32. The point is I did it, and I proved that all the channels do work and register. I think this is interesting, that it says that when is this not activated? That's funny, because it was. And that's a legitimate operating system with a legitimate key. That's kind of odd. Anyway, I'm not going to belabor that. That's not a concern. That would in no ways affect what I'm getting here. But I think that's odd. Or did I forget to activate the windows? Well, anyway, yeah, because that's a legitimate installation with a legitimate Windows, believe it or not, a legitimate Windows disk purchased at the Microsoft Store. Wow. Okay, I must be getting forgetful in my old age. I'll have to tend to the activation. Odd. Okay. Anyway, I just want to prove that that I did do it. I did fix it. I know. The only reason I'm doing this video is because in another video I'm, asking for help, because I spent so much time, so many hours trying to make this build work. And now I'm finding out that it's just the type of RAM I was using. Bizarre. The HyperX RAM. Because, I put in some G-Skill and instantly it shows 32 gigabytes. All the channels suddenly all the channels work. Whatever. Anyway, at least it's good to know. I'm just pleased to see that I did do it and that the motherboard is working correctly and everything is functioning correctly on this, vintage system. And my daughter is quite happy with her build. So there it is. I'm going to reduce the RAM somewhat. I think I'll just bring her back down to 24 gigabytes of RAM. I'm sure, it's not a big deal. She's very happy with that much RAM anyway. But I wanted to give her 32, and now I see that there's a price for that. If you're going to make this particular X58 motherboard work with 32 gigabytes, it will come at a cost. And it does say, in the manual that the max amount of memory is 24 gigabytes. It's just that I found it was interesting that on the much more limited Dell motherboard, you can't even overclock on that you had originally. I could put 32 gigabytes of RAM on that board and there wouldn't be a problem. It would take it no problem. It would it would run that much RAM. But apparently not on this board. That's ironic. Because the Dell motherboard is definitely not nearly the top of the line board that this one is. This particular Gigabyte board is, and you couldn't even overclock on it. But this is a much better motherboard, much better system board, and I just like that was partly why I was a little upset that I could not seem to get the middle bank to work correctly, and the middle channel. And I thought it was the motherboard, but it's not. All the RAM is registering right now. It is functioning right now. It's not the motherboard. Right now, the awkwardness is the RAM itself. So I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to take the RAM, step the RAM down a little bit. I might try running, I don't know, just for the fun of it. I might just try running 26 gigabytes of RAM. I ran 26 on the Dell OK. I don't know if I can on this one, because the booklet does say that, So maybe I'll just try 26, and And if that doesn't, well, then I'll stop fooling around and I'll just, you know, because it doesn't matter if the RAM is perfectly matched at this stage in the game, at least not for her needs. Just as long as the latency is consistent and it's not unstable, she should be okay. I'm not going to XMP this RAM. I'm just going to run it just flat as it is, because this is an older board, and well, maybe I'll try XMPing it. I shouldn't lie, I'll probably fiddle around with it, but I don't really look forward to. What am I saying? I'm just saying, I feel like Bill Zoid, sometimes he does that, and it's so funny when he does that, but at least I know I'm not alone. I might experiment with it. I will experiment with it. There we go. I coughed it up. I'll experiment with it a little bit, but I'm not expecting a lot, because as good as the old X58 platform was and still is, for my daughter's purposes, she doesn't, need anything. Knock them dead, drag them out. She doesn't even need anything overclocked. She's very happy with what she does. She does like doing a lot of graphical work though, and that's the thing, So because she likes doing the graphics work, this is why I'm giving her as much RAM as I can possibly give her, and she's into all that, that design stuff. So that's what she likes to play with on her computer, and who knows, maybe later on we'll move to something else, but she's quite happy with her computer as it is. And we kind of got into a fight about that long ago, a little bit of a disagreement on she's familiar with the X58 platform, and she loves it, and I wanted to move her up to another platform, and she adamantly insisted no. And I said, okay, well, how about if I just get you a better X58 platform? Would you allow for that? And she said yes. So I was hoping one day maybe I might be able to do some overclocking for her, but it is her computer, and if she doesn't want me to overclock anything permanently for her, then it won't be done. But I'm allowed to experiment. So as her daddy, I get to experiment, and I will experiment a little. But she's like, put it back. I will put it back. Because after all, it is her computer, and she likes things the way they are. Well, there it is. Anyway, I just thought I'd show it because I know that I had such a hard time, and it turns out it was the RAM. It was the RAM all along. Even though, and that's kind of odd, because I was, moving it around in different slots and everything, and it wouldn't change anything, but it was the RAM itself. Like I would have to try a different brand of RAM, and it didn't occur to me to try a different brand of RAM. So either one of those sticks of RAM that I was using originally wasn't working right, or it's just the brand of RAM. But there it is, 32 gigabytes of RAM. Windows is not activated, which is kind of good because I can point the camera to it, because there's no crucial information here that I can't share with the public as a result of Windows not being activated. So there's no product ID available. It's kind of odd. I guess I just didn't get to that stage, and I'll have to activate it after this for her. Alright, so there it is, and thanks for watching. God bless you.